So in the early 2000s, it was announced that there was going to be a Final Fantasy VII remake. After years of development and production delays, it finally reached the full development stage in 2015. And which seems like a lifetime later, we finally get to play the remake next month. This is a pretty big deal, and after playing the demo, I'm starting to get really excited about this game. While the demo only just gives you a taste of what's to come and leaves a few questions unanswered, it still establishes a basic foundation of what the game is going to be and definitely sets expectations pretty high. So let's get into it. Here are my first impressions on Final Fantasy VII Remake Demo. The first thing that you'll notice right from the start screen is the music and overall aesthetic of the game, which keeps true to the source material. I haven't played the original Final Fantasy VII in probably 10 years, and hearing that music honestly gave me goosebumps. And the score stays true to the original game throughout the whole demo. At the same time, you'll see that the overall art production is also spot on with the original game. With its industrial style and somewhat greenish and dreary tonal color palette, it's a nostalgic trip for anyone who's a fan of the original. In fact, with a few exceptions, the whole demo plays out pretty much almost the same.
Get down here, Merc.
But there are surprisingly some dialogue moments that were left out from the original that were pretty important, including the importance of the Mako reactor and the history of Cloud and Avalanche. I'm hoping though that they left those facts out on purpose so that they could cover them later on in the game. And Barrett is definitely more of an asshole this time around, which doesn't make sense because he hired Cloud as a mercenary but doesn't really show any faith in him.
Damn scared to bite the hand that fed him? Or is he a loyal little doggy? Have it your way, Mutt. We can do this with you, or we can do this without you.
And then there's Jesse kind of flirting with you the whole time.
He's got balls, this, what was his name again? So, you know Tifa, right? It's not really my business, but are you guys close? There are some places a sword just can't reach. He's got balls.
And who designed Jesse's armor anyways? I'm pretty sure that her boobs wouldn't be sitting in that metal Madonna cone-shaped bra-esque armor thing the way that you might think. But hey, I guess it's the same reason Cloud looks like a metrosexual boy band group member.
Everybody, yeah.
JRPG, right? Jokes aside though, the character models look fantastic and spot on. Barrett looks tough, Aerith looks beautiful, Cloud has cool spiky hair and a big sword, and Wedge looks like a doofus. It's pretty awesome, and again, Square Enix should be commended to keeping true to the source material. So how's the gameplay? Well, it's good, but I'm hoping that what we're given us is just the tip of the iceberg. You can expect it to be a little bit shallow considering that it's a demo. So you can play as Cloud and Barrett, with only a handful of accessible moves, spells, and items available. The main gameplay change is the obvious switch from turn-based combat to real-time, which wouldn't be my first choice, but it works. You can pause the game to you slow it down to almost a pause to choose your spells and abilities, but it's more akin to the system in Final Fantasy 15. It's not a bad thing if you don't mind it. I found it very fluid actually, and was choosing my strategy very seamlessly while switching between characters, attacking, using spells and items, all while knowing exactly what was going on. I got very quick at choosing my strategy after only a few encounters. My only complaint about the combat was the very small SP meter that you have to constantly be aware of. It was just too small to be glancing at every 2 seconds. Especially with all the particle effects going on, I wish that they put it somewhere around the characters so you could notice it better. While we're on complaints, I have to mention the camera. It was downright out of whack sometimes, most notably when you first get control of Barrett. It was unacceptable. Other times, it just kept bouncing back and forth like it was on some sort of ping pong rail. I hope that they fix this for the final release because it honestly made me dizzy at some points. The voice acting was hit or miss. Everyone was pretty decent, but Bear kinda got on my nerves. I know that everyone's supposed to be pretty extravagant and somewhat stereotypical, but it seemed like they wanted Bear to be extra douchebaggish. Complete with the stereotypical Southern American badass black guy accent, I cringed every time that he spoke. But I mean, I guess this is supposed to be how he talked?
Security is only gonna get tighter, so be ready. We can't afford any more mistakes. The hell you think's gonna happen when it's all gone, huh? Answer me! This pump's sole purpose is to drain the planet dry. While you sleep, while you eat, while you shit, it's here sucking up Mako. Say that again. You listening, Merc? One false move. And that happened. Gonna throw your sword at him? Let the man with the gun go to work. Then do the damn job!
So the demo took me around an hour to beat, where the same part in the original game took about 15 minutes. But you have to remember that this is the intro, tutorial, and demo, so they gotta hook you. It's also a very crucial story part of the game. So, considering that this game's very cinematic, it might not be unrealistic to say that the more important parts are going to be greatly embellished, while the less important or weirder parts, or kind of slower parts, may be cut to make room for the former. I'm talking about like the wall market part where you have to get Cloud to wear a dress, the part where a dolphin launches you in the air, or the misogynistic Tifa and Scarlet slap fight, only to name a few. The remake is obviously more cinematic than the original, so these awkwardly humorous moments that were acceptable in the original might be dumbed down or cut entirely from the remake. But if Square Enix decides to keep these quirky scenes in the remake, then I will applaud them again for truly going weird RPG and keeping true to the source. I'm just worried that due to how cinematic the game is, it just might be too linear like Final Fantasy XIII. The last thing I could say about the demo is the final boss. The Scorpion Sentinel was amazing. Very high energy, never a dull moment, kept you on your toes, and looked great visually. This is also when I kind of warmed up to Barret. The banter during the fight was great as well. If every boss battle in the game is like this one, then we're in for a treat. My only worry, as I said before, and I realize that this is the intro and has to be pretty in your face, bang bang bang, go go go, but how are they going to handle the more diluted parts? Is the whole game going to be like this, or is there going to be some time for exploration and time to breathe? How will the map feel? How deep will the towns be? But I have to say that I do have high hopes for this game if it treats itself more like an RPG rather than a movie. Another question remains unanswered is why the heck is this an episodic game? Why can't we play this whole game at once? My worry comes back to making this game more cinematic than it should be, taking away the depth from the original, making it more than a movie than a game. After playing this demo, I'm almost sure that this is the direction that they're going to take, and if so, how many episodes will there be? How much story will they cover? How will the summons be treated? And when will the episodes even be released? Is it going to take 2 years to release this whole game? Let's hope not. Regardless of my pessimisms and my doubts of keeping true to the original RPG gameplay, I'm still confident that I will enjoy the final product for what it is. In the day and age of cash grab re-releases and remasters, I'm really happy to see some developers are taking remakes seriously. With Resident Evil 2 Remake being a pleasant surprise, I feel that this game will have the same effect if you keep an open mind. Okay, thanks everybody for watching my review. If you liked it, subscribe. Peace out.
There are some places a sword just can't reach. He's got balls.